Okay, here it is. The white VFR1200F with luggage. Alright, so yeah, I had the luggage for a little while because I knew I was going to get the white fairing kit. I ordered the fairing kit from China through like AliExpress. It's the same as what they sell over on eBay. All the red stuff is tucked away in a box. But yeah, basically panniers added to that GB rack. I had to change some stuff around to make it fit because it's not specific for this bike. Those are from Amazon, like $180 with the mounting brackets, but I had to get some additional little bits and bobs. Yeah, so there's one spot where it did not fit quite right, which is right here. So I'm gonna have to massage this. I'll take it back out whenever I have time to mess with it. It's alright though. For under $400, it's great. It's a great way to have a fairing kit that looks new and that I don't really care too much about. So if it does get chipped, you know, from rocks and stuff, or if I do slide and scratch it, I know it's not the OEM kit. The OEM kit, whenever I get ready to sell the bike, I'll get it repainted and put that back on, and this will be a spare extra. Alright, or whenever I feel like having a red bike, I'm able to. A lot of dog hair everywhere, as you can see. But yeah, let's go for a ride. So this is actually only the second ride I've had the panniers on. The first ride I figured, you know, it was not tight enough. They were kind of rocking around a little bit. And now, so I secured them a little bit better. Like it was the mounting kit that came with it did not, like, it was secured by 3 points, and it had to have been at a kind of a weird angle. So when I opened it, things would just pour out of the side panniers. But the way I have it mounted right now, they are like they sit normally and like they sit straight. I love this sound. So they sit straight, so when I open it, it stays nicely. And I did extra securing bracket, like bolted them just for the back part. The part, like it had I'll show you later, but basically I've secured them to a fourth point. So they're secured by 2 points. The two main ones are for where the behind the grab rail. Well, one of them is behind the grab rail for the passenger. The second one is from the top box. One of the bolts for the top box. That's the most of the weight. But to secure them from flapping into my back wheel, there's another bracket that goes to the passenger foot peg. And then I added a fourth one just to keep them from jiggling left, right. I added a fourth one that goes to the license plate bracket. I know that's not the most sturdy thing in the world, but this is just for added flex in the back. Like it does not carry any weight. It's just to reduce flex. So So do I feel any resistance or anything? You know what? Maybe a little bit. Like, I will not go on a track day with these on. I will take them off for a track day. Yeah, it'll be stupid of me to go on a track day with panniers and a top box. That's the beauty of this setup, is that it's what is it, 8 or 10 bolts, you know, less than 10 minutes to restore it back to a stock tail, get rid of all this extra weight. But for commuting at normal speeds, it's great to have the extra storage. I think it looks good on the bike. It makes it kind of it represents what it really is, which is a sports tourer with a, you know, still emphasis on the sport, but you have the panniers on, you know, it's less likely for people to just expect you to wheelie everywhere, to just pin the throttle wherever you go, which this is not, you know, this bike is for going far fast. It's not really for it's not really a play bike. So yeah, it helps it, you know, kind of establish what it actually is. I'm putting my hand on top of one of the cases just to see how much it jiggles with the road. Not much. Yeah, fourth gear. I might be doing a little more RPM for the same speed with these on, with the wind resistance, but not by much at all. Remember, like up till now, I had a few months with the whole rack was off. I had no boxes in the back, just a little tail bag, and I ran that for a few months. So I think the top box is also a contributing factor to the drag. But still, all of that is not by much. So yeah, I have the feeling that there's going to be a lot of wind noise in the audio of what I just said. So I might repeat it and cut it out. We'll see. Now, the obvious question with the panniers is, do I feel the weight difference? And in a standstill, a tiny bit, yeah. And again, this is the first ride, well, the second ride I've had with them on. The first ride I had with them on securely, you know, because the ride I had before that, they were kind of flapping a tiny bit, and it was a short ride, and I wasn't really leaning the bike over very much. But yeah, once I get going in those middle speeds, you know, from, I don't know, 20 to 70, I don't feel them at all. Maybe if I get some like a chicane over here somewhere where I turn a quick right left or a quick left right, maybe I can feel the difference there. But really, you know, in a standstill, like handling it in the garage, yeah, there's a tiny bit of extra weight that I can feel, and probably on the highway I can feel a little bit of drag at higher speeds. But this bike really, like, it has so much torque, it doesn't care. Like, if this was on a 400cc bike, you know, of course it would make a big difference, because yeah, it's if I didn't have a lot of torque, but there's so much torque on tap here, like maybe naturally, maybe if there is a difference and I'm naturally, subconsciously spin the throttle a little more, maybe subconsciously I am doing that and it makes up for it, but really nothing noticeable. I'm gonna have to try and check my miles per gallon with and without them. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something in the ballpark of 10% worse fuel economy with them on compared to everything off. I'm talking about like no rack, no top box, no side cases, gravel. Always ruins this corner. There's a factory over here and the trucks keep pouring gravel on the road whenever they come out. But yeah, here we go. So much torque I can just stay in third. This is supposed to be a second gear turn. I can just stay in third and just, if anything, when you kind of whatchamacallit, when you short gear it, when you go one up from what you're supposed to be at, just ride the torque. It's easier not to spin the rear out of a corner and to leave a bunch of tire on the road, which sometimes it's fun to do, to leave some tire on the road, but economically, yeah, it's not very fiscally responsible. More gravel, and yeah, when you get to places like gravel, on the track it's the complete opposite though. Like when you do get in trouble, to get in trouble out of a corner at third gear, 6,000 RPM is way harder to control than second gear and 9,000 RPM. But because you have this like natural like decline of torque, natural limiter. But yeah, I really enjoy like being able to just not worry about what gear I'm at. As for balance, the bike feels just as balanced as it did without it. I think the weight distribution is fine. There's a package I have in the right side that I'm gonna drop off on my way to work, but yeah, it's not heavy enough to make a difference. They're close enough to the center of the bike, like they don't protrude. Well, they protrude, I think it's about the part that is farthest away from the center of the bike is about the same as my clip-ons, slightly less than the mirrors. It's a fun corner. Another second gear corner that I'm taking in third because I don't want to overtake this truck right now. Oh, maybe I should have overtaken. Yeah, I don't feel the weight at all. I had it down like almost to the foot peg right there on purpose to see if I can, if it takes more effort to pick the bike up from there. Nope, Takes no more effort. By the way, if you're watching this and you have a big bike like this one, or a Hayabusa, or a Concourse, or whatever, any heavy bike, it can be a cruiser or sport bike or whatever. It can be like either a small person on a sport bike, you know, that's just heavy for you. It doesn't even matter if you're strong or not, and what size bike it is. But if you want the bike to feel light turning, like turning left, right, if you, I don't know if you can see my hands, this is where most people hold their hands, right there, right, the middle of the bar. If you just hold your hands here, that means that half of the palm of my hand, like what's underneath my ring finger and pinky, is over the bar weights. Make sure you can reach the clutch and the brake, but it just makes the bike turn as if it's 100 pounds lighter. Like no effort whatsoever. It's just more leverage. Now, the more leverage you have, the more careful you need to be with your input, because a smaller input goes a longer way. You have bigger leverage, just like a crane, basically, or like a seesaw. So if you want your bike to feel lighter, more nimble, especially in places where you have like slow technical turns, or if you're practicing slow speed maneuvers in a parking lot, you know, just hold your clip-ons as if they were wider than they actually are. As long as you can reach your controls, you're golden. All of a sudden the bike feels much lighter, and you also have more leverage for the clutch, so the clutch feels lighter. You have more leverage for the brake, so the brakes feel stronger, because the farther you press down the lever, the more change you have, like, and you can reach 100% of your, well, you're more likely to be able to reach more of your brakes. Like, I'm barely touching the brakes with one finger, and I can pull a stoppie with one finger. I do have two fingers up there, and that's just a habit that I've had from bikes that did not have brakes as good as these. The clutch in the VFR is not very light. I'm able to press it with two fingers, but when I use three, when I get into situations where it's traffic, stop and go, when I use three, I have less fatigue. So, you know, it stops me from getting lazy and having to put it in neutral at red lights, because it's not safe to sit at a red light in neutral. You're like a sitting duck. But if you have to rest your hand, you're tempted to, you know, pop it into neutral and just let your hand rest. That's kind of okay when you already have a couple cars or more stopped behind you. If you're at a red light that nobody ever goes fast on, and you have those cars behind you that are kind of a shield, they're already stopped. So yeah, maybe you can, and it's a really long light, maybe you can get away with putting it in neutral for a second. But when you're sitting at a red light, especially when there's no cars stopped behind you, do yourself a favor and do not put it in neutral. There's too many riders got seriously hurt or killed. It's not their fault. Someone hits you from behind, it's never your fault. But I'd rather be alive than correct, than right? Gotta watch it with mid-speed over here. Just one of the bike to breathe a little bit. So another thing, always expect the worst. I saw him, I didn't assume he was going to pull out in front, but I knew he could, and just knowing that someone can do something can help you be prepared, you know, even if it's something stupid, you don't think they're actually going to do it, they still might. Here's a prime example of standing at a red light with no cars behind you. Always have an escape route. I can go here, but check this out. I'm looking behind me in the mirror, and I have an escape route between the bus and that Civic. So if somebody does, I'm in first gear, if somebody does come behind me, I can just pop, you know, let go of the clutch and go between those. Short bus. I thought it was like inmates, but it's up and coming gymnastics. I guess it's a gymnastics team. Same kind of short bus that they use to carry inmates. Alright, let's see what's going on. It's something I never got used to on this bike is the turn signal and the horn. I feel like they're taking each other's spots. They're swapped. I feel like the turn signals should be where the horn is, and the horn should be where those turn signals are. I hate doing this, but I guess. I don't like doing that, but I guess I had to. Oh, I feel something. Was the bracket that I put right here from the license plate to the back of the luggage broke. So from the flapping around, so now I just zip tied it to get back from work on both sides. So that acceleration probably created this flex, and the flex made those brackets go. So right now this is how much I can move them. That should be good for a while. If you want to look inside, while I got you out here, this one is unlocked, the other one is locked. I don't want to get the key. This is the inside. There's a little leftover of a bag. It has these straps. I think I'm going to get bags that sit in here. And this cable right there goes, I can hook it up to either my tail light or my brake light. I have these reflectors are also have 3 strips of LEDs. So if I put it on my brake light, it's gonna light up when I hit the brake. If I put it as my running light, it would be on all the time. Thinking about it, I might get like a plug. I don't want to splice my original wiring, so I'm gonna have to piggyback. I'll get a plug that works, so and wire a splitter with OEM plugs. So it will be completely reversible because I'm thinking about mostly running without them, without the luggage, and then whenever I go on to a place where I need the storage, I'm gonna get it. Another thing that I started thinking about since getting the white fairings and having it looking so nice is I started thinking about putting the original pipe back in, quiet it down, be a little bit more of a classy, respectable, grown-up bike all the way. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Please subscribe and comment and do everything, you know. I'm still at a point where I can reply to pretty much any comment. All right, see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.